Magandang araw sa inyo mga kalaiko. My name is Brother J. Tropicales, a Catholic lay missionary from the Live Christ Share Christ Mission. Allow me to share with you a personal reflection this Advent season. Let me ask you this question. Are you waiting for something this Christmas season? Are you waiting to receive a gift? Are you waiting for your 13th month pay from your hard work? Or are you waiting for your loved ones who has not been home for a long time because he or she is an OFW in another country? Brothers and sisters, this Advent season, all of us are waiting for something. But above all, I hope we await for the coming of our Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Advent season is a season of waiting. It's a time for us to pause, reflect, prepare our hearts to receive the gift of Christ. As we lighted each candle, we remember the hope, peace, joy, and love that Christ brings into our lives. But Advent isn't just about waiting for something. It is also about preparing to become the kind of people who reflect God's love in the world around us. In Acts 4:34, we read about the early Christians, a community of believers who understood what it truly meant to live in the light of Christ's love. It says there was no needy person among them. Can you imagine that? A community where everyone's needs were met, where generosity flowed freely, where people were deeply connected to one another. The early Christians didn't just believe in helping others, they practiced it. They shared what they had, not out of obligation, but out of love. This wasn't a community defined by scarcity, but by abundance and generosity. The abundance of grace and the understanding that what we have is meant to be shared. Acts 4:34 calls us to reflect on our own lives. Are we living in a way that ensures that there are no needy people among us? It doesn't mean that we all have to be wealthy, but it does mean that we have something to offer, a kind of word, a helping hand, our time, just as the early Christians shared everything they had. We too can share what we have, no matter how small or big. This Advent, it is not just about the gifts we exchange with family and friends. It's about looking outward, looking after our brothers and sisters in need. Let us ask ourselves with this reflection, how can I make sure that no one is left behind? How can I reflect generosity of God in tangible ways in my own community? Acts 4:34 isn't just a verse from the past. It's a challenge for today. Maybe it's as simple as making a meal to someone who's alone this season, or donating clothes to those who don't have enough. Or maybe it's about giving the gift of time, volunteering yourself in social work, visiting persons deprived of liberty who are in prison, writing a letter to someone in need of encouragement, or being present for someone who's struggling. Advent is a season of preparation, but it is also a call to action. To not only wait for Christ, but to prepare the world around us by reflecting His love. Just like the early Christians, we're called to build communities where no one is left out, where no one is forgotten. As we light the Advent candles this season, let each flame remind us of the light of Christ in our lives. Let it call us to be the light for others, to share, to give, to love. Let this be a time where we not only reflect on what Christ has done for us, but also respond by living out that love in the world around us. So how will we respond to this Advent? How will we live out Acts 4:34? This is the challenge of the season, to embrace the abundance of God's love and to share it with others. Because in the end, the heart of Advent isn't just waiting for Christ. It's becoming more like Him every day. Let this be the season where we not only celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, but also live in a way that reflects His generosity and kindness. This Advent season, let's create a community where, just like in the early church, there is no needy person among us. Together, we can be a community of believers, building a little piece of heaven here on earth.